Earlier this year, I did a preview of Esports Godfather where I went through my journey as coach of the best upcoming MOBA team. I thought the game had some strong highlights, but I also felt like it fell short in certain areas, but now that the game has been out for a while, I decided to give it a chance to see what the team at Asteroid Game Studio has done, and if you should be picking it up. So join me on a brief adventure through what my experience was like and stay tuned for my final verdict. Having to start from scratch means saying goodbye to my favorites Wurzburg and God, but I have to say hello to a whole new team including another great username as my top laner is named Die. And spoiler alert, they must have named themselves off of something they don't like to do because they died a total of 9 times in 25 matches with 0 deaths throughout the 7-game playoffs. Anyways, I went through the preliminaries just like in the previous video and had a few hiccups but won every match and then was presented with the transfer window. I decided to embrace the changes and kept Die and the jungler Fade, however, I got rid of everyone else. The other team members we brought in were Captain Soap in mid, A2 bot for support, and then our team captain and bot laner Mr. Fool. Because we were promoted, we must play every team in the pool to determine if we make it to the playoffs. During the weeks that pass, we are introduced to new mechanics like items that can be purchased in the game by your players, a cycling rule set that drastically changes the shape of the matches, new heroes, sponsorship opportunities, and much more. We even unlock the ability to do scrims, which helps the players gain vital experience points and mastery in characters that in turn improve abilities that the characters possess. As we progress relatively smoothly, we see a familiar face. Wurzburg has come back, but we were able to handle them and their new team. However, all pressure seems to be building up to our final match of the year against Team Cloud as they possess the highest ranked bot laner named Techno Viking. By this point, my bot lane has become a little solidified with who I'm using, and even though the computer gets 3 bans, they never target the 2 that I've been using almost every match. We beat Team Cloud and go into the playoffs with the number 1 seed. We must face a best of 3, which we take in surprisingly fast fashion, and make it to the semifinals, and where we also win in order to get a chance to fight for the league championship. In the finals, we meet with Team Cloud once again, and through our bot lane, we shut down Techno Viking and take 3 games straight to win the best of 5 series. Thanks to our performances, Team Cloud and us champions are going to be promoted to League 2, where we are aiming to keep pushing through this league into League 1 and then finally reaching the Premier League. We now face a total of 10 bans per match, so we must diversify our hero pool with the more than 50 available characters, and it will be up to our will and grit in order to forge a legacy that will last through the ages. Now with all that out of the way, I wanted to go through my thoughts on the game. My first thoughts were of awe as the amount of customization options that there are at the beginning of the save file is staggering. You can customize the difficulty, increase rerolls for potential transfers, unlock all heroes at the beginning, adjust how often rules changes occur, and so much more. You can even just have one of the preset difficulties that rank from easy all the way to hell. I think the diverse characters are really unique and it's extremely fun to discover the counters and synergies as you play. I think the game has a lot to offer, but I do have some gripes that range from minor inconveniences to things that I do think the developer needs a change. The translation to English in the game isn't always the best, so there are a few cards or abilities that I got mixed up on. There's also a lot of discussions in between matches, and I felt like the choices I made were always based on what the result was going to be, even though what I was saying wasn't quite right. Like if I complimented a player, they got fans, but if I said they needed to improve, then they got experience, so it got really easy to choose experience over the fans, but I felt like it just wasn't really the right thing to say. I think maybe having some sort of mood meter may revolutionize this sort of encounter, because if I can imagine having a disgruntled member choosing to leave during the transfer period, you would have to scramble to replace them, and I think that this would lead to more dynamic relationships between the coach, players, and the media. Now when it came to the actual matches, the computer never really seemed to ban any of the heroes that I used, so I basically ran the same lineup aside from some new characters that released for the entire playoffs, and my bot laner basically hard carried me to victory. I also think that there needs to be some changes to the overall behavior of the players. I would always seem to win a team fight, wipe the opponent, and then wait for my chance to play cards, all the while my mid laner is just pushing their tower, and once all the opponents spawn in, they immediately make it a 5v1 fight. There is a mechanic to make players have a certain threshold for backing to get health, but I feel like in reality there should be some sort of pumping the brakes instead of just seeing a tower and immediately going for it. It just rubbed me the wrong way to win a team fight, only to know that it's gonna bite me later. One other thing I'd like to note while I'm editing is that picking the blue side gives you a massive advantage by allowing you to play your cards first, but playing the red side seemingly has no real advantage. When a team fight takes place, you always have to decide if you're going to join in or not, but maybe if the blue team decided first, then there would be some sort of benefit on being on the red side. I just wanted to see some more of a decision process behind which side to pick in a matchup other than just, I want to go first. Overall, I will say that the game is still one that I would recommend if you like sim-style games or just want to experience managing an esport team. The developers are highly active on their Discord, and it seems like there's tons of feedback coming in, so hopefully they will make some adjustments to continue to improve this gem into a must-play game. But as it sits, that'll be it for this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and as always, be kind to one another. Shout out to my Patreon supporters Relativity, Naughty Dog's King, Chaos, and Camcolo, alongside all those who are subbed to the channel. I will likely be getting back to some demo diving videos, and I will also be at IGN Lives, and I will be sharing my experiences there when I get a chance, but either way, I will see you soon.